There are some cases that disturb the nation for a few days and then disappear from public memory. And then there are cases that force society to confront something much deeper about itself. The Twisha Sharma case has now become one such case, because this is no longer only about the mysterious death of a young woman. It is about power, control, emotional cruelty, and a terrifying question that millions of Indians are now asking after watching the public interview surrounding this tragedy. How did Giribala Singh ever become a judge?
The Twisha Sharma case is deeply tragic. A young woman is dead. A family is shattered. And the investigation must continue fairly and independently to determine whether this was murder or suicide. That process belongs to the law. But there is another parallel trial happening in the court of public opinion. And that trial began the moment the country saw the public appearances and interviews of Giribala Singh, Twisha's mother-in-law. What disturbed people was not merely what was said, it was the demeanor, the coldness, the visible lack of empathy, the emotional detachment while speaking about a young woman who had lost her life. For millions watching across India, something felt profoundly unsettling. And then came the most shocking detail of all. Giribala Singh was not just another controlling family elder. She was a district court judge. Pause for a moment and absorb the gravity of that. A person who now appears to many as emotionally indifferent and deeply authoritarian was entrusted with deciding the lives of ordinary citizens. She sat on the bench. She heard criminal cases. She dealt with family disputes. She passed judgments affecting marriages, property, liberty, and human dignity. And naturally, this raises uncomfortable but necessary questions. How exactly are judges selected in this country? Is legal knowledge alone enough? Because justice is not only about understanding sections of law. Justice also requires humanity. It requires emotional balance. It requires wisdom, restraint, compassion, and moral credibility. A judge is not supposed to merely interpret law mechanically. A judge is expected to understand human suffering. And that is why this case has shaken people so deeply. Many citizens are now wondering whether our institutions evaluate the psychological and emotional suitability of people before giving them enormous judicial power. Do we examine temperament? Do we evaluate patterns of abusive behavior? Do we assess emotional stability and empathy? Or are we simply producing technically qualified individuals who may be completely disconnected from human sensitivity? And perhaps the most disturbing question of all is this: how many more such individuals may already exist inside the system? How many people wearing the robe of justice may themselves be carrying anger, toxicity, manipulation, or cruelty behind closed doors? Because positions do not automatically create character. Sometimes, power merely hides the absence of it. The Twisha Sharma case is also a painful lesson for Indian families. Reports suggest Twisha repeatedly informed her family about her domestic suffering and emotional distress. If those reports are true, then this tragedy exposes another harsh reality of our society. Too often, daughters are told to adjust, to compromise, to wait, to save the marriage, even when the warning signs are screaming, even when emotional abuse becomes unbearable, even when danger becomes visible. And somewhere along the way, preserving the institution of marriage becomes more important than protecting the life inside it. That mindset needs to change urgently, because sometimes saving your daughter is far more important than saving her marriage. Perhaps if stronger intervention had happened earlier, Twisha Sharma may still have been alive today. Our deepest condolences to her family. But justice for Twisha alone is no longer enough. India also needs a serious national conversation about accountability within the judiciary itself. Not just legal accountability, moral accountability, psychological accountability, human accountability. Because a society cannot feel safe if people who appear devoid of empathy are allowed to sit in judgment over others. At the end of the day, courts are not merely buildings of law, they are supposed to be temples of humanity. And justice without humanity is not justice at all.